Columbus City Attorney Zach Klein is suing the Trump administration again, this time over the looming expiration of SNAP benefits, also known as food stamps, due to the government shutdown. Klein argues the U.S. Department of Agriculture is refusing to use available funds to keep the program afloat. Without funding, the benefits run out this weekend, putting 1.4 million Ohioans in limbo. Meantime, Ohio leaders are redirecting resources to help families who will be impacted by the expiration of SNAP.
Governor DeWine has signed an executive order to provide up to $25 million in support for food banks and emergency relief benefits to people whose income is at or below 50% of the federal poverty line. We have team coverage for you tonight. NBC4's Gracie Collins spoke with leaders of the food pantry about how they are preparing for an influx of clients.
But we're going to begin with State House reporter Jesse Buffet, who talked to U.S. Senator Jon Husted and his 2026 opponent, former Senator Sherrod Brown, about what happens with this impending SNAP expiration.
As state leaders agree to a plan to redirect funds towards food assistance, former Senator Sherrod Brown, who is trying to unseat current Senator Jon Husted in next year's election, said in a campaign stop today in Columbus that Husted is not doing enough to end the shutdown. Meanwhile, Husted has signed on to an emergency provision that would fund SNAP for another month.
I've co-sponsored a piece of legislation that would fund SNAP, but that is a last-ditch effort on my part and others to try to get this program funded before the end of the month. But we could solve this quickly. I want Ohioans to know that we're doing, at least I'm trying to do everything I can to solve problems like SNAP and other things, because I know that real people are beginning to suffer.
People sponsor bills, they co-sponsor bills, they make speeches, but do what you need to do. Go to the Senate floor. Don't be the deciding vote in cutting Medicaid. Don't just turn your back on people that rely on government to actually do something for them in their lives.
State leaders now say they will redirect about $25 million to food assistance programs as SNAP benefits disappear. But that is a mere fraction of the $263 million that Ohioans will not be receiving as SNAP funds expire. We'll have more on that at 7. Local for you, I'm Jesse Buffet, NBC4.
Leaders say area food pantries have already been stretched thin prior to the looming pause of SNAP benefits. Executive Director of Ohio Association of Food Banks, Joree Novtony, says with some federal workers missing a paycheck along with rising grocery prices, area food pantries were already scrambling to provide enough food. She says pantries provide 19 million meals statewide every single month. She adds she's grateful for the much-needed assistance from the state, but agrees with Governor DeWine that this cannot be looked at as a long-term fix.
Certainly not a long-term solution. If this continues into mid-November, we're then getting to Thanksgiving, right? We already have a lot of distributions ahead of us for the holiday season and for the winter months.
We also reached out to the Mid-Ohio Food Collective. It says in a statement, we are glad to see the state recognizing the challenge facing food banks and low-income Ohioans.
As local pantries prepare for more visitors, one is seeing an outpouring of unexpected support from the community. Our team coverage continues tonight with NBC4's Gracie Collins, who has more on who is stepping up to help.
Here at the Dublin Food Pantry, they're already seeing an increase in need. So when someone donated more than 100 gallons of milk, you can see it didn't last long. The executive director of the pantry, Julie Rinaldi, says more people who lost their jobs or aren't being paid because of the shutdown need their help. It's been all hands on deck from volunteers to keep these shelves stocked and to be ready for even more visitors. She tells me the community support pouring in is what's keeping them optimistic. The owner of Fit Fresh, a local meal delivery service, donated a half pallet of milk. He also raised around $900 from people who saw his donation on social media, enough to keep bringing milk donations once a week through Thanksgiving.
I know it's easy in the current cycle to get really worried and down and despair, but I think there's enough wonderful humans in the world that if we band together, we can really make a difference in people's lives.
It means so much to us to get fresh produce, to get that milk. I mean, families really need that healthy food.
He says he's hoping to raise enough money to keep these donations going on through Christmas. I'll have more information on how you can help out over on NBC4i.com. Local for you in Dublin, I'm Gracie Collins, NBC4.
New tonight at 6, the Franklin County Sheriff's Office says it is scaling back dedicated patrols